Critique of Media Effect and Media Control on Chinese TikTok Douyin, a digital story about DaLogos. DaLogo is an influencer who had about 20 million followers back in early 2021 on Douyin. His videos were basically presenting a normal person experiencing luxury life to the general public. So in this video, he's going to pay about £6,000 to stay one night at the only hotel room on Oriental Pearl Tower in Shanghai. So he's being impressed by the scenery outside the room. And here he's again being impressed by the cost of the entertainment facility, which is about £10,000. And here he's astonished that there's beautiful view even from the toilet. So due to time limit, I can't show more details about him, but in his videos, he represents everyone outside of higher class, and in this way, he showed what the life of higher class is to the general public. But then he was criticized for corrupting the society for frequently displaying luxury life by the People's Daily and Xinhua News. They are official newspaper under Communist Party of China, Chinese government separately. At the end, DaLogo's account went through transformation, and the original topic was never picked up again. So before we go deeper into the critique, we have to understand basic concepts. The first one is new media, defined as any media that delivers digitally. So Douyin is one example. From utopian vision, new media is seen as liberating and emancipatory. It differs old media from its free access to all content and freedom of audience to choose the information they want. And celebrity, traditionally they are famous individuals in any profession, are being described as charismatic, idols for adorations, and fans projected identifications of media effect, which simply is the effect of media on society. The early theory of media effect is direct effect model, which will be discussed later. And media control, an important idea from Frankfurt School theorists who experienced the rise of media culture in Nazi Germany. So here's another example. The DaLogo event was not coincidence, as Kang Yaya, another Douyin influencer who also had the same encounters as DaLogo. He had about 2 million followers back when he was popular. The topic of his videos were mostly the transition from male to a female figure, and here's an example. Dun, 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 dun. So what we see is just a beautiful figure right there, but surprisingly his account was then blocked by Douyin. Reasons was videos having negative influences on society, especially on the teenagers. So here we come to the discussion part. DaLogo and Kang Yaya are viewed as celebrity in traditional definition for being famous as Douyin influencer, so they possibly have features mentioned in the concept part like idols for adorations and fans projected identifications. But the thing is that they are not idols and viewers are not their fans when watching their videos. If you would think back a few minutes earlier when you watch their videos, you will know they don't necessarily have those effects on us. But the critique for DaLogo and reason for penalty for Kang Yaya made that mistake. They hold views from the direct effect model, which assumes audiences passively accepted media messages, so media content can have direct effect on the audience's perceptions, behaviors, and so on. The direct effect model was challenged by a more credible theory, agenda-setting theory, argued that media have indirect effect. It states that the media only determines the focus of public concern rather than public views. So applying this theory on this issue is that the effect of DaLogo and Kang Yaya's accounts are drawing public attentions on the issue of like huge gap between the rich and the poor and subversion of solidified image of male and female. And the public then comes up with its own opinion, not as the critiques and reasons for penalty say that directly lead people to favor luxury life and young people to favor femininity. Drawing from Frankfurt School theory, the main reason of two Douyin influencers' encounters can be explained. There's an idea of one-dimensional society that view media was controlled to promote conformity. Contents are excluded simply because they don't correspond with ideologies favored by the state. By looking at these two events in wider scope, we can perceive that the idea of one-dimensional society, both two contents were in different way excluded. DaLogo's content exposed huge gap between the rich and the poor, which do not accord with the feature of socialist states, and Kang Yaya's content emphasized feminine figure on male, which is against the Chinese government's call for intolerance of feminizations of male adolescents. By linking this series of events to this even wider but relevant phenomenon, the idea of one-dimensional society will be clearer in this case. There's an independent section on Douyin popular hashtags called positive energy, which is an ideological buzzword that emblematizes Chinese patriotism, which represent ideologies of Communist Party of China. It has been found to serve for propaganda of established state ideologies by letting videos content to feed those ideologies. Like the two examples from the left-hand side, the first one is Chinese from abroad waving national flag, singing national anthem, and the second is about emphasizing Hong Kong will always be part of China. These ideologies are not wrong. I love my country, and I do agree the argument in the second one. But the problem is that they have hidden but very clear purposes, which is to spread patriotism. So after saying that much, I have a question for me and you all to think about. So my answer is, from series of events in this case, the answer is probably the latter one. And here are my references. Thank you.